What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfire's. Super exciting news about the possibility of Phase 7 opening with more Marvel movies in 1 year than we're about to get over the next 2.5 years. That's right, Disney has officially added another untitled Marvel movie to 2028's release schedule in what would be the fourth movie that year, when we're only set to get 3 between now and December of 2027. We're going to break down this latest news and speculation in an article from Variety. They go on to name some likely titles that this could be, including one like Fantastic Four 2, or rather the sequel to the unreleased Fantastic Four that comes out next month. We have really good reason to believe there's no way it can be Fantastic Four 2, but we will talk about all the possible titles and what the fourth movie in 2028 might be for Marvel. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel. That's all we do. Thanks to everyone who's been subscribing lately and helped grow the channel again at an insane pace. And if you haven't already, I would just kindly invite you to do so. It's the #1 thing you can do to support us here at Everything Always. Plus, it'll enter you for the giveaways if you want. Stick around to the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so again, this broke in Variety yesterday under the headline, Marvel adds possible fourth movie to 2028 slate, where they go on to report, quote, Disney announced on Wednesday that Marvel Studios is scheduled to release an untitled movie on December 15th, 2028. It would be the fourth feature from the division that's set for that calendar year, with previously announced films scheduled for releases in February, May, and November of 2028. Okay, so pause. Before we even wade into the part of the article and the video where we speculate as to what title this could be, and we actually have really solid information about what's in pre-development at Marvel Studios currently, we have to talk about those dates. February, May, November, and December. And that's why Variety titled the headline the way they did, a possible fourth movie. Possible because it's not probable. Marvel Studios has never, nor will they ever, release movies in back-to-back months like November and December. So more likely than not, that December date is a new placeholder where the November date will eventually be removed. Keep in mind, Marvel Studios has also expressly said that going forward, their release plan looks a lot different. They're going to do 2 movie years and 3 movie years every other year, meaning 4 movies in 1 year is just not something to expect from Marvel Studios ever. At most, we may get 3 movies in 1 year. Again, remove that November date, and that's what we would have with February, May, and December. I will also mention, because this is super important, I believe we will only get 2 movies in 2028, and they will also probably remove the February release date that is probably also a placeholder right now. Why, you ask? Well, because in December of 2027, about 60 days before that February release date, and if Avengers Secret Wars is going to do as well at the box office as Disney and Marvel hopes that it does, it's hard for me to see them putting another movie directly into theaters 60 days after Avengers Secret Wars comes out. In fact, Avengers Secret Wars may still be playing in theaters in February if it's released in December, meaning there won't be another Marvel movie. And since we're talking about it anyway, there's also a good chance that that May date that they've got is where Avengers Secret Wars ends up anyway, because I just believe Marvel believes in that date, and they may need a lot more time when all is said and done to wrap up that film. Everything is fluid. So given Marvel Studios' history and past with release dates, especially real recently, they may have 4 on the calendar as of now, but watch it get cut to 2, and then watch May end up being the release date for Avengers Secret Wars. Now, all that to be said, the article speculates that this brand new December date might be one of 3 titles. One of the titles they float out there is a sequel to the Fantastic Four, or basically the Fantastic Four 2, what we assume will be the middle of a trilogy if they don't end up getting more films, say like 4, get it? But think about this logically. All of the Fantastic Four's cast will be filming on Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars through presumably the rest of this year and a majority of 2026. Plus, in 2027, more likely than not, they'll be needed at some point for pickup shots and reshoots if they're going to hit that 2027 December release date. If you're also doing a Fantastic Four 2 for a December 2028 release date, that means they'd have to start pre-development on that while they're in the middle of finishing up Secret Wars, to be developing a script and then start filming on it pretty much during the end of 2027, right when they'll probably be wrapping up on Secret Wars. There's no way that they're all going one Marvel movie to the next to the next. There will be a Fantastic Four 2, undoubtedly. That's probably why Variety felt comfortable bringing that up, but I do not believe it'll be in 2028 and that close a proximity to when they're all said and done wrapping up shooting and eventually releasing Avengers Secret Wars. Now that only leaves 3 other titles we know for sure are either in active pre-development or have been put on the shelf. The first of which is the X-Men reboot, which we know Michael Leslie penned the initial script, and if all of the reporting in the Hollywood trades from last month is true, Jake Schreier, the director from the Thunderbolts, is in talks now to be the director on X-Men. Would Marvel Studios want to release an X-Men movie as the first film out after Avengers Secret Wars? Absolutely they would. Would it be a lot easier if that movie contained brand new MCU characters that weren't a part of the Secret Wars saga so that there were no conflicts whatsoever with how that story's wrapped up or any of the filming schedules? Yeah, even more so the case. So I strongly believe of all titles possible, it's probably the X-Men reboot in December of 2028. Now, if it's not the X-Men reboot in the release date for December, the second film it's real likely to be is Black Panther 3. And in the same way that Marvel Studios would want an X-Men movie to follow up Avengers Secret Wars, they would surely feel comfortable giving the weight of a post-Avengers Secret Wars first Marvel Studios release to a director like Ryan Coogler, who's not only proven himself with the Black Panther franchise, but obviously has had a ton of recent success with Sinners. And think about it, how much hype is there going to be, especially if there's a brand new Black Panther that's not Shuri, if it's literally Prince T'Challa or the son of T'Challa, and we talked about that in last night's video. So real likely, we're going to get a Black Panther 3. It's the only other Marvel film outside of X-Men that we know confirmed from the Hollywood trades is actually in pre-development, and so whether or not it happens to be this December release date, we'll see. Whether or not it's the first film after Avengers Secret Wars, also up in the air, but if it's not the X-Men, it's definitely Black Panther 3, and as I mentioned, there is only 3 titles that we have total that we know are in pre-development or shelved, that third title being Blade, and I think for all the reasons that it remains on the shelf now, having been in development hell, pun totally intended, for 3 or 4 years, Marvel Studios is probably not real comfortable trying to make that the very first offering that comes out after Secret Wars. Keep in mind, Blade will also probably be rated R, and even though Deadpool and Wolverine did $1 billion with a rated R title, it is going to be a long shot, again, for a movie they've had such a hard time getting going, for that to be the title that they're comfortable with. Plus, the market will be more narrow with rated R. Do not compare it to Deadpool and Wolverine. I mean, maybe compare it to Deadpool and Wolverine and the fact that people love Blade, and if the movie is good, it'll make a lot of money. Again, see Sinners. People like vampire movies. It's so crazy to me they couldn't get this going, and I have such a good idea for a pitch for the film. Someday I'm going to get up the nerve and just email Kevin Feige or Marvel Studios and be like, I got your Blade movie script right here. So easy. Here's the pitch. 2 sentences. Let's go. In the meantime, in lieu of not doing that, Marvel's not running that out as one of their first movies after Secret Wars. They're just not going to do that. And so Black Panther 3, X-Men, count on those to be one of the December titles. The other rumored projects that are in development include Doctor Strange 3, Thor 5, Midnight Suns, Annihilators, and like the article said, a Fantastic Four 2, but I just don't think for that early on in Phase 7. But you guys let me know all your thoughts down below. How hype are you for the prospect of some of these films? And after Avengers Secret Wars, what's the safest bet for Marvel Studios as the next release? Forget the dates, just the next movie to come out after Avengers Secret Wars. X-Men, Black Panther, or something else? I'm all ears as always. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Alright, still giving away PlayStations for every Marvel drop. The next one is next week for Ironheart. If you want to be entered to win for any of the future giveaways at the channel, super simple, just be a subscriber, so hit the sub button, leave a comment down below, and because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on, and as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. Find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, under the name Allfires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.